I think obviously the first day, good things, things we need to correct. We talked to our players all along about owning their conditioning and owning their technique. And I thought we started off exceptionally well. And then as practice wore on, I thought we lost our mental intensity. And to be a team that has to overachieve, we have to be able to maintain that intensity for 60 minutes. And our players will respond. I thought today was a great teaching tool. Typical first day for freshmen. They were more worried about getting lined up. I told myself I wasn't going to lose my voice on the first day, and I failed in that. But, I still like the mentality of this football team. We just have to continue to preach and learn how to play winning football. Taking care of the football, the effort, and again, it gets back to technique, and there's so much that can be developed with no pads. But the big thing, we have to come back tomorrow. We have to be a much better football team in terms of our mental effort and our mental intensity that it takes to compete for 60 minutes. So I'll answer any questions you may have.
Were you pleased with the speed, especially of the offense today? Was it a nice starting point?
It was a nice starting point, but I'd like to go faster. I think the big thing is the consistency. I thought towards the end of practice we slowed down a little bit. So I just think, we've had a great summer. Our players are in the best shape they've been in. I could tell that we were stronger, bigger, we were faster. I could tell that, but it's still really hard to simulate really being in football condition. And I think we saw that a little bit today.
Coach, you talked about coming from the spring, retention and moving forward,
Yep.
at least early on today. Did you see some of that?
I did. I saw some great retention from our older players. I thought our freshmen, for the most part, did a great job. But as we continue to move forward, our installation will continue to move forward as well. But I thought the retention was pretty. It's hard, because you don't have the pads on. And now all of a sudden, the thinking game. Sometimes the mind can tie the feet up. But I thought for the most part, I was pleased with that aspect.
Freshman quarterback specifically, how did they look in the first game?
Looked like freshmen. I think the speed of the game, I think everything was happening very, very fast for them. And so kind of what we expected. I thought Peterman, I thought Worley showed good poise. I thought they showed a lot of confidence from having spring, but I still need more leadership. I still need more take charge, more assertiveness from them.
What about the offensive side of the ball?
Again, you take really the physicality part out of it. I'll know more when I watch the film, but we need more, and it stems up front. We have some players up front that have played some football here. And so we're going to rely on their leadership, their experience. But I just think the overall intensity, especially defensively, has to pick up.
What about the accuracy of all your quarterbacks? I know you said this spring the veterans had to get more accurate. The young guys today, they're accurate.
Not where it needs to be.
On all fronts?
In all fronts. We chart balls on the ground, and we had 66 footballs on the ground today. And that's too many. To really be an efficient offensive football team, you can go through a whole practice and maybe have 15 to 18 balls on the ground. We had 66, but it's a starting point. It's an opportunity to get that point down. I think last year at the other school we were at about in the mid-60s. And by the time we ended training camp, we were right around 15 to 18. So we need to work to progress to get to that mark.
The stripes on the helmets for the newcomers, just over into that.
Yes. I was waiting for you guys to ask. We're not changing our stripes. It's nothing with the uniform conversation, but one of the best things we do in our personal development program here at Tennessee is a lot of our players have already talked about it, is our Big Brother program. And that's part of our Big Brother program is every newcomer in our football program has stripes on their helmet. And they have to earn their stripes in our football program. And when they earn their stripes, their big brother dictates it. They'll come up and they'll pull that stripe off their helmet because they've earned that stripe. And so again, it's part of that personal development and growth, which is the Big Brother program.
Names on the back of the practice jersey.
Just something, that we work exceptionally hard, just, trying to reward our players. But, the name that matters most is what's on the front of our jersey, and that's the Power T. And but it's just something to try and make it and reward our players is something different.
We talked once bit about how important the coach is going to be to this defense. As he goes, the team goes. Why is he going to be so important, so valuable to his progress?
Well, I think you look at his size. You know, you work at how hard he's played and worked to perform to get to this point. But again, it stops with stopping the run. It stops winning up front. That's where it begins. And so obviously he's going to be a big part of that. And if we can get him to develop and improve, that's going to lend itself to being a better defense.
Coach, I know it's hard to grade running backs, you know, without the pads on, but what do you look for in the first couple days of practice in the gel? I guess what are your benchmarks for those guys?
Intensity, burst and explosion, body position, whether, you know, you're still in blitz pickup mode, you know, understanding your assignments, being assignment sound. But I think burst and acceleration, still pad level, overall knowledge of the game and competitiveness.
With Marlon Lane and good at, were you pleased with the shape he was in?
I was. I thought he's one of those individuals that you could see. I think he's progressed from last year. I thought he looked crisper in his upcuts, in his run reads. I thought he ran. You know, we don't like to round cuts. We want everything to be with burst and acceleration and really defining your run tracks. I thought he did that today.
Butch, one of the guys said that they could sense a different level of urgency from the coaches today. Are you conscious of that? Did you sense that yourself, I guess, being out there?
Well, we need to have that every day. And I think that's the intensity that's going to take to improve as a football team and a football program. And it all starts with us as coaches. You know, this is why you play the game. You know, we're getting ready to play a season. So everyone's intensity should pick up. In practice, in meetings, I told them the way we eat, the way we train, the way we're in the training room, it's game time. It's the football season.
Are you in a kind of countdown mentality at all? Do you start Xing off the days and literally look at deadlines with that first game coming up and where you're at?
Well, I think what you have is a great sense of urgency. And every day we have to have a great sense of urgency. But it gets back to being process oriented. You know the phrase that everyone uses, how to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. It's the same thing of training camp. Every day is critical, and every day is more important than the next day. So tomorrow when we leave this football field again, we have to show great strides, and those improvements that we need to move forward will be pointed out tonight in meetings.
Coach, I know that you want the expectations to be as close to similar as they can be across the board, but with the receivers, you know, you've got a lot of new faces there. For the first couple of days, is it different for that group as they're trying to get up to speed, knowing that they got 4 or 5 different guys and they have this thing?
Well, it's different all relative to all the newcomers. You know, so they're learning our practice habits. They're learning our style of play. And then you throw in the mental aspect of it, of having to digest the formation, the play call, the split, the adjustment, getting lined up, and then executing your assignment. And then the next phase will be in a couple days when the pads go on. So there is an adjustment, but we don't have time. And it's a great opportunity for these young individuals to come in and assert themselves. But that's why having that sense of urgency in everything that we do.
Last one, guys. From the spring with that group,
It has.
such a big deal there.
It has. But again, it's being in football condition, but it has. All right. Thank you.